Hi, everybody. This is Laura. I'm feeling a little sleepy tonight. I hope it doesn't affect my readings. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. There is a website for the show called spiritmediumtv.com. That's spiritmediumtv.com. And there you can watch a live video of the show. If you're feeling adventurous and you'd like to get priority in the reading queue, you can actually join that video at step 3 on spiritmediumtv.com. Love to have you. It may take a little bit of figuring out, but for most people, it shouldn't be too difficult. All you need to do is click on the link that says enter the video or the webinar here. And it doesn't get any simpler than that, but some people are technically challenged, shall we say. So for them, it might be a little difficult. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. My meetup, which I used to have over 2,000 members of, has been taken off of meetup.com because I didn't find, well, I would have loved to keep it. So I don't know if anybody's calling in today that is familiar with the meetup that I had. It's been erased from meetup.com because they told me I had to have local meetings and not just the radio show. And my business plan does not include anything but the radio show right now and working directly with clients. So it's gone. So if you want to keep in touch with me, and that's true for everybody, if you want to be made aware of the radio show and you'd like to be told when I'm writing new articles, the one we're going to talk about tonight is a really hot article. It's called The Magic or the Power of Doing Nothing. So the article should be very helpful to you. And if you'd like to keep in touch with me to know about the radio show and to receive articles and offers and so on and so forth, just join my mailing list at spiritmediumtv.com. You'll see it on the sidebar. I think it's on the right side of the page right now, or if you're using a smartphone, it would be as you scroll down, you'll find it. Anyway, thank you everybody for calling in. Really appreciate hearing from everybody. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, a couple of other things. You can jump to the top of the queue. I do have a full queue, loaded queue right now, which is usually the case. If you jump into the webinar, you will be given priority. If you have an other side connection, you will be given priority, but I don't have time to find out who's here for an other side connection. The only people I've interviewed before the show started are all wanting life questions. But in any event, to jump to the top of the queue, if you don't do it this evening, you may want to do it another time, is to make a donation. If you make a donation of $8, which I believe is at step 1 on spiritmediumtv.com, you will be taken as a priority. Other than that, just wait. I try to get to everybody I can get to, as many people as I can, without sacrificing quality, of course. And let's see what else. Oh, if you'd like to get a third more time free in a private session with me, that's a sale of 25% discount. When you book your session at booklaura.com, that's booklaura.com, simply place radio show in the event code field and you will obtain that extra time. And that's for radio show listeners, you get a discount. Okay. All righty. So what's the focus subject for tonight? Let me just give you a lowdown of what I'm about to do. I'm going to give you a focus subject. Hopefully it's something of benefit to you. Then I will do a group message, which is channeled from the ones, which are the ones would be called the Elohim or the Seven Sisters or the Seven Archangels. They are the energy centers that are closest to the energy of God, if you will. And they create from the amorphous energy of God, God being this light of this energy, and they pull from that and create matter. So they're the highest level. They're all about manifesting. That's what I work with on the show. I can channel most anything that is available to channel. And, a lot of people out there think that you have to go to this kind of psychic for that and that kind of psychic for this. And one of the ones I love are the ones that say, I do Akashic readings. Well, if you're working on a soul level, if usually most mediums do, then you are working on the Akashic record level. And the information simply comes through from the guides that present it to me, as well as the healing I do works that way. So yes, I do healing, I do mediumship, And I do soul level readings, which would include Akashic records. I do chakra healing as well. I do a lot of things. So, the focus subject for this evening, which is highlighted in an article on spiritmediumtv.com, or the master website name is spiritmediumlaura.com. On that website, you will find the article called The Power of Doing Nothing. If you're listening to this show at a time in the future, it probably won't show on the first page any longer. So you would have to search for it. And the website template I'm using does have a search box right on the top of it, right under Spirit Medium Laura. You'll see a magnifying glass, and there you can search for nothing, Nothing. And who would have ever thought that doing nothing could be powerful? Um, there was a time in my life, and I have a great story to go with this, a time in my life where I was about to, or I felt that I was a target to be fired in a job. Mind you, I am an extremely conscientious person, and I had been working in the same position for 5 years prior, but they switched managers on me. The old manager was always giving me 5-star reviews, 5 out of 5-star reviews, and I felt fairly confident. I was a hard worker. And suddenly this new manager came on board, and he was checking up on me, and he was finding fault, and I felt very threatened. And I'm sure some of you out there in listening land have had the same thing happen to you. And when things like that happen, we feel very, very powerless, right? So I didn't know what to do. To add to the severity of the problem, I had worked long enough to had acquired stock options. And if I were to be fired, I would lose those options because I had to fulfill a certain time span to get them. So I was really nervous. Okay. So what happened was I decided to find myself a spiritual counselor. And I went to Science of Mind, which is now known as Center for Spiritual Living. And if you've ever heard of Wayne Dyer, if you will, his books, a lot of his teachings are based on the teachings of Science of Mind, as well as Louise Hay. I think she was a reverend in that particular discipline. So I went to somebody in Manhattan in New York and sat there wanting to fix the problem. I felt this guy was going to advise me, this reverend, this wonderful reverend. I thought he was going to give me ideas. So he sits me down, and instead of wanting to talk, he starts to teach me how to meditate. And I'm thinking to myself, what? I want to fix this. I want to do something. Meditation? And he just said, I'm like, oh God, I was trembling. But anyway, I was so desperate, I did exactly what he said. And weeks were going by, and my amount of meditation was getting longer. But I was learning how to meditate. And I tell you, well, the first benefit was it was calming me down. I wasn't as nervous anymore. So finally, after learning more and more about meditation, after mastering it and doing it, about 5 weeks into it, suddenly I go to work one day, and I learned my manager had been transferred. So everything was good again. Happy days are here again. So meditation and doing nothing is just as powerful as doing something. So there's a time for harvest. There's a time for seeding. There's a time for asking. There's a biblical passage about that. To everything there is a time. I don't remember the passage, but you know what I'm talking about. And there's even a song that goes on about that. So keep that in mind. We all have to learn how to put the brakes on. We need to go to neutral. We need to go to park. We need to go to drive. We need to go to reverse. In life, we need to learn how to navigate, if you will. So being quiet and doing nothing is very, very, very powerful. And just to bring home a simplified way of manifesting, if you sit with pen and pad on a daily basis, asking yourself what you really, really want, then creating an affirmation and perhaps a mantra, a 2-word statement for that thing you want. Going into meditation, you can use that mantra. So let's say that you want work, right? Or money. I know a number of people waiting in the queue are calling about career and money. You would ask, or you would state in meditation, your mantra might be um, rich work, rich work. And you would use that as your mantra. And you do it for 5 minutes, maybe do it for 10 minutes, maybe do it 15. But the idea is to be still and to set your intention. And then allow the universe to start working for you. Because if you're constantly in motion, you're basically saying to the universe, I'm fearful that I cannot have what I want. So I'm going to be frantically in movement, motion, action constantly. That blocks it. So the more you can learn how to ask for what you want and then go to a quiet space in that energy, the better you will be able to receive results. Okay, so now I'm going to do a brief prayer, meditation, energy connection, and then I will go to group message and the phone lines. So everybody listening, if you would please sit back, uncross your arms and legs, and go into an open body position. Please start to breathe from your abdominal area, breathing in deeply. And on the exhale, releasing any and all tension, fatigue, any negativity that you might have, just releasing and relaxing into that, asking for Spirit's help, focusing in on your issues today for your guides, your angels, focusing in on what they are. If you are wanting an other side connection, please ask your loved ones from the spirit realm to come in as well. Have them sit down with you. While you're doing that, I will invoke the master prayer and be back in a moment. And now, on your next exhale of breath, if you would please release into the space around you your energy, I will connect us. One moment, please. Okay, give me a moment to connect for the channeled message. We are here. We are the ones. We have come in to be with all of you to help you ascertain the way to attain your goals in life. Each of you is needing love. Each of you is needing more love than you feel that you have. All keys to everything reside in the love area. When one does not love oneself, one is unable to attain anything in the earth vibration. So the foundation for all acquisition is to first acquire for yourself unconditional love. You need to love yourself to be able to have what you desire. This does not only stand for receiving love from other people, but even to attain career goals, money, all of the things that the heart desires, all of the things that your soul is wanting for you this lifetime resides and depends on the ability for you to be in love with yourself, to be giving yourself that which you desire and need. However, this love cannot be given to you if you do not understand that you do not need to earn the love. You simply are love. When you can understand that the mere fact that your consciousness, the engine within you that resides and provides for you life, is the essence of love, when you know then that you embody this, that you hold it within you, that you simply are already a part of life, a part of consciousness, when you can receive that idea and feel it genuinely at the root of your being, you will have the core foundation of everything that you desire. First, my dear friends, feel the love within you and know that right behind feeling that love is a presentation to you of all things that you wish you would desire. Namaste. Okay, I'm now going to move to the phone lines, and the first person waiting for a message is Tim. Hi, Tim. Tim? Oh, sure. And you'll hear later on Jay as well in the queue said he thought it was for him as well. It's a very good message. I love it. I really do love it. Well, go ahead, sweetheart. Ask your question then. Sure. Let's see what we get for you. All right, sure. I'm glad to hear that you're so assiduous in applying yourself to your goals, but I have a feeling that you're not sure what the goals are. And I also feel that you can't ask for what you really want. So let me go a little deeper on that. You see, asking for what you really want is another key. A lot of people ask for what they think they can have, not for what they really want. And if you're not asking for what you really want, you're not gonna get anything. So let me go a little deeper with you, honey. 917 Tim. Hold on. 1 second, please. You're feeling very lonely right now, very isolated, very desolate. Your life is missing a lot of people that you used to know. What happened there, honey? You're telling me that you feel very isolated and alone right now. Do you have anything to say about that, Tim? Well, they're telling me you feel very isolated and alone right now. So I will honor that, and maybe they can give me more information as we move forward. Hold on. You're not really listening to yourself at all. You have a lot of ideas about what you want. They sound very creative, but they're sort of half baked because as soon as you have one, you're like really not understanding it, or you just let it go away. It's like it doesn't seem practical. So I get a feeling of you thinking every now and then you'll have a bit of inspiration, and then you'll stop, and it never gets fulfilled. So I really want to see if I can get to what you really want, and then we'll get to figure it out. Hold on. I'm going to try to channel right now. Hold on. Channel your guides. Tim's guides at 917. Please come in, guides for Tim. You are very smart, dear Tim. You know what you want in your heart of hearts, but you are not allowing yourself to articulate truly the desire. The desire feels creative. The desire feels like more than you could ever do or more than you could ever have. You need to listen to your heart more about what you really want. Once you have listened, even though it may seem impractical, you will be able to change it and chisel it down to something that is bite sized. It is how you develop what you truly want is through smaller steps. I'm going to stop the channeling for a moment because I got a feeling of you wanting to do something that seemed more in the arts, particularly music. Would you understand that, please? Well, well, I get very, okay. Well, I get the feeling it sounded like music to me, but we'll just take it for creative. But I also saw, as soon as I heard that, that there are ways to make that more practical. For example, if you think it's visual art, then you would find a place where they're doing visual art in a business format. Perhaps it's design, or if it's in the music industry, producing music, that kind of thing. You get a job in a place that was producing music. So you have to think in terms of first what you really want. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little quick healing on you so that you can get more in touch with what you want and start asking for it. Because I see in the root chakra, you know what chakras are, darling? You know what chakras are, honey? Okay. In the root chakra, it's all blocked right now. That's the main one. I'm gonna just look one more time just to make sure. Hold on. And I'm also going to ask you to do something in a moment. This is for Tim at 917. Yeah. It's like white light is in the root chakra. The root chakra should be red, which is the normal color. White being in there means that you have a scarcity of feeling you're being divinely guided. And I feel that you're trying to box yourself into something that you're really not. And if you would only listen to yourself more, you would be able to hear what you really want. So I'm going to now do a clearing there with your help. And I'd like you to channel in red light all across the groin area with me. Sparkling red light. And I'm going to channel a prayer for you for clearing that blockage. One moment, please. This is for Tim. You are a very gifted, you are a very gifted person, Tim. You have a lot of abilities. Your 7 chakras are opened now. Do not hesitate to get involved in the line of work that you're desirous of doing. It is in a profession that you are knowledgeable about, you have tried before to do, and you will begin to do it now. It is something that you have a great ability to do. And it does seem to be that it would be something in a more healing or medical capacity. You will be able to get going on this now. You just need to listen to your heart more about where to go and how to get that position. Okay, we'll stop the channeling. That's a healing prayer for you. And as I was in the prayer, I heard the words healer for you. What is it that you think you want to do, Tim? Tell me what you think you want to do, please. No, interesting. Okay, just as was said. Okay, so they said to you, or they were trying to say, kind of didn't use that word, but they said you're a gifted healer. You're a gifted healer. And I also saw something to do with perhaps starting, and we're trying to bring it, all of that esoteric, high level stuff to a more mundane level, because we have to do that on Earth. We have to start with baby steps. And what I'm seeing is that for now, since you do want to do something more professional, that you might want to get involved either in getting a certification or some kind of a thing that has in the healing profession. It could be even medicine, like a medical assistant or something. If you have you thought of trying to get some kind of a certification like that, please? All right. Well, that's what kind of what I'm getting is to get you into something that's a little bit more down to earth and certified, and then from there you can move it forward to something bigger. And storytelling can be embedded in anything you do. Okay. So, for example, if you were working as in a medical field, storytelling could be used to soothe people's nervousness when they're getting blood taken out of them or something. So it could be used everywhere. But I see you as running around. I'm talking about making you more of a putting you in more practical content, putting you into a more practical context. I see you getting involved. This doesn't have to happen. It's your choice. But the reason I'm being told to show you this is because it gives you something to work towards. And I see you in the medical field and having professional credentials eventually. Start small, you build on that. I see you, running around, being very needed. You're wearing a long white jacket, a long white coat, and you're involved in the medical profession. And that you would like that because it would make you feel needed, applied, and you also be making money, you'd be in demand. So that would be what I'm suggesting for you, Tim. It's not in stone. It's always your will has something to do with this. But from everything I'm getting for you, it feels like you're lost. Well, I guess that alone and afraid kind of goes with the whole thing. Like you're lost right now. You don't know what you want. And they're telling me that what you really want underneath it all is to be in demand and have a good career. And that the creative side of you can be embedded in that in any way that you'd like. Okay? Hope that. All right, love. So go ahead and take some steps like that. Okay, love? Thank you, honey. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to Tamika. Hey, Tamika. How you doing, sweetie? Hi. I'm doing great, love. Hi, where are you from, honey? Where's 770? Where is that? Oh, how nice. Very nice. Lovely. What's the weather like there these days? Is it cool or is it warm? Oh, Okay, sweetheart. So go ahead and ask me your question, love. Oh, oh, oh. All right, let's see how it's going to work out. Give me the name of the agency that's interviewing you. The name or the initials? Okay, so Atlanta Public Schools Police Department. 1 second. How will this turn out for Tamika? Good or bad? I'm going to start with a very simple thing, honey. I'm going to be silent for a moment. 1 moment, please. Well, there is something there that is not going to be that great. It's like as if I think you were following procedures, but they're going to look at it like there was something wrong in the procedures or that you were distracted in some way. I see a flaw in what you were doing that they're going to put their fingers on or they're going to assess. Uh, it's not really that it's not a good thing right now. Okay, that I need to tell you that because when we have to figure out what can be done, because you sound like a lovely person, and I'm sure you didn't do this willfully. But I do feel that they're going to try to prove willful neglect of duties. However, I do not feel that they will be able to prove it was willful. They're going to see it as neglect, but not willful. Let me see something else. Do you have I don't think you have an attorney, right? You don't have an attorney, right? Yeah, I right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, there's a neglect there, okay? And you're going to be pulled into it. And I do recommend that you try to find yourself an attorney, if not too expensive, or maybe they can provide you one from the state. But I think you need to get a little bit very slick with this, very slick. And if you do have an attorney, it will increase your chances of getting off on this, and uh, you'll be rewarded for having an attorney. They won't be able to press you with anything. But right now, I think you need to get sort of a professional expertise behind you for this, because there's some kind of like you need to be slick to get out of this because it's a slick trap. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's a slick trap. So you need to be slick to get out of it. And I'm being told you should get yourself a little legal counsel. It doesn't have to be terribly expensive. Just you need to get out on a technicality, and that you'll be able to prove that very easily. But you need somebody to help you with that. It shouldn't be you representing you. You should get somebody professional to work with, and then it would be fine. Everything would be fine. But right now, they can get you on a technicality, is what I'm getting. Even though the other person in the office holds the stuff, I think you need to get a little slick yourself so that you're not pulled into the mess. Okay, that's what I'm getting, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine if you get yourself professional. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It could end up against you. Yeah, very easily. And I know that you did your right thing, but there's something did happen, and they're going to try to pin it on everybody. Everybody they can pin it on. So you need to get somebody to represent you that's professional, that will help you, and it will be very effective because and it's very simple. It's almost like whoever you're going to hire, whatever lawyer you do get, is going to. For them, it's so simple. It's like a technicality, get you out right away. It'll be over and done. But if you try to represent yourself, you're going to be trapped. You're going to be entrapped. Okay. All right. So it'll work out for you, honey, with lawyer. Okay. You're welcome, honey. Thanks. Bye bye. You're welcome. Bye bye. Okay. We're up to Jay. Hey, Jay. What's up? Jay. Oh, it's going great. It's going great. What can Spirit do for you today, darling? Wonderful. Good for you. Sure. No, life teaches me, spirit teaches me everything. Well, I mean, I've taken a lot of courses and everything else, don't think that. But one of the principles of metaphysics, there's actually a spiritual law of a vacuum. That when we create a vacuum, by doing nothing, spirit can come in and fill it. Nature pours a vacuum. So it's based on a spirit. All these things are based on spiritual law, but I don't work cognitively as much as I work intuitively. So when I get an article, I know I'm supposed to be talking about something. All of a sudden, it hits me. Oh, I have to talk about this, and I forgot what it was last week that brought it in, or 2 weeks ago when I wrote it. But you heard the story of how I learned in my own life, how life taught me the power of doing absolutely nothing. But you have to do something to set it up. You have to have intention. If you don't have intention, then doing nothing is maybe going to give you a sense of being centered in the now. But have intention with that is extremely powerful. So if you're wanting something in life, Jay, learning how to get in touch with that and then asking for it. Now, remember we were talking to somebody earlier where we were talking about the power of doing nothing, but he wasn't in touch yet. So you have to be in touch with what you want. You have to ask for it intensely. And then you do nothing. Then you relax. So, for me, life is a series of asking for things I want and then going into the silence, going into the void, going into the vacuum, going into the now. And by the way, the now is the only place creation can happen. So when we're worrying, our mind is outside of the now. Our mind is in the past or it's in the future, but it's not in the now. Have you ever gone to a therapist or counselor, Jay? Okay. I don't know if they ever said this to you or not, but I have gone to counselors in the past. And one of the things they liked to tell me was to go into my body and to sense how I feel. And actually, it's a technique in therapy to go into your body and how you feel right then. And that's the way that you go into the now. So mindful meditation can be very, very effective when you sense your physicality, your form, maybe on the breath, or just to fit your finger on your thigh, or if you like to focus on your visual field when your eyes are closed. So going into the now means you're focusing on your body and how you feel in the moment, and then you just simply relax, you let go. Now, is there something going on in your life now that you need or want, or you have a question about this, or? Okay, let's see something here. Jay at 780. Let me just see if you're going to do anything with it. I have a funny feeling that you might not want to do anything with it. 1 second, please. You like to learn new things, but you don't necessarily have to take things anywhere. You can be what's called a sampler. You try this, you try that, you enjoy yourself. Life is meant to be sampled and enjoyed for you at this time in your life. You're not supposed to force yourself to become serious about anything. Enjoy your life. For some reason or other, I see a dog next to you. Do you have a pet? Do you have a dog? Oh, okay. Well, right now I see a dog. I see a dog. It could be in spirit, the dog, but just relax. I don't see that you have to do anything with it. And I feel it's fun. And what I'm getting as a message for you is to learn how to sample things and enjoy them. You don't necessarily have to become serious about any of these things. And on a heart or soul level, you really are wanting to enjoy your life and sample things right now. You don't want to get too serious about anything because these kind of things, because when you do, it upsets you. It drags you down and it makes you feel claustrophobic almost. Now is the time for expansion and relaxing and growing as a human being. Eventually, you will want to take some of this to a higher level when you gain a broader knowledge base. But I feel that you will be taking to a level that would be more as a coach or a healer or a life counselor, where you'll be working in a much bigger way with much larger set of skills, and it will sort of just evolve, and you won't really have to force it or focus on it. Just sort of come to you, kind of like the power of doing nothing. It will evolve. But this is something that you're learning now to enjoy for yourself and help open up your psychic gifts, of which you have a tremendous amount of gifts. You're very, very gifted and talented, but eventually you will find that this is not what you want to focus on. It's just part of the things you're learning. Give yourself the ability and the license and the permission to graze, graze, through life right now, enjoying every morsel, and you will be rewarded in the future with something bigger and broader than you ever imagined. So that is your answer. Okay? Thank you, Jay. Take care, love. Bye-bye. Okay, going to Jeannie. Pretty name. Hello, Jeannie. How are you this evening? Hi. We're Absolutamente. Where is 585 area code, love? Oh, wonderful. What part of upstate New York? Rochester. Well, I'm from New York City, and I have spent a lot of time in upstate New York as being a New York City person. So it's not that far away from my perspective. Okay, sweetheart. Yeah. Well, let's see. I was to Syracuse once, but I used to go every summer to Middletown, which is in Orange County, which is the southern part, more southern from you, closer to New York, 2 hours outside of New York. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. Okay, sweetie. So what I want you to do, love, is I want you to give me just a question, not the background to go with the question, because I like to just kind of hone in on it without being influenced. So go ahead and do that, please. Yeah. Is there a question there? Okay. Yeah. Should you start it up? Yes, you should you should start the business. Okay. The answer is yes, you should start the business and that you would like it very much. Go ahead. You want to add into that? Okay. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, first thing I want to say is I get a big yes, yes, yes to do it. And you would love it very, very much. It feels creative, but it also feels practical. It reminds me of floral design or something, or parties or something. What is the business, honey? What kind of business is it? Okay. Well, whatever you do, you're going to bring that kind of panache to it, shall we say, even if it's a senior living thing. You're going to make it like better than other people would and maybe even more enjoyable senior center. So I want you to remember that. But I think probably you're thinking, can I get the funds? Will it be successful? Blah, 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 blah. You're asking me, will it ever happen? But that's a question that's difficult to answer because you shouldn't be expecting something to fly in the window. We need to fix that question. So let me just see how I can fix it for you. All right. Because things don't fly in. All right. When it's not a matter of when, it's a matter of will you take the step, the plunge. 1 second, please. Will she take the plunge? Yes or no? Yeah, you're gonna do it. You are gonna do it. You are gonna get the funding. You will not be held back. I do feel it probably needs to happen more in this springtime. this spring, not several years from now. You shouldn't wait too long to get started on this. You can get yeah, April, May, you can get started fairly quickly. You do not have to have a very large facility to begin with. You can start on a shoestring on a smaller budget. I feel that there's funding for this. It feels like there would be somehow government money or some kind of a grant you're going to be getting to do this. It will help you tremendously with this. And I'm getting a feeling that it would have something to do with meals or Meals on Wheels or something, some kind of program that helps seniors, if you will. Has to do with food. And that you would like it very, very much because you are that nurturing kind of person. And you can bring that, see, it goes with the flowers too. You can bring that sense of bringing joy to others. You can re-express it in this environment, and that you would do very well with it. I'm seeing something. Wait a second, love. I just need to see what this is they're showing me. The problem is there's an obstacle. I just need to say that. I'm feeling like when you get into it, you might get soured by it. This might be something you're harboring within yourself. In other words, will it live up to your expectations? Or are you going to feel when you're doing this, like it's hard to really bring home the dream? The dream is I want to uplift people, right? The dream is you want to uplift people. And I think you harbor a secret fear that when you get into the day-to-day machinations of running this facility, that you may just make it ordinary because the demands of doing it might require you to cut corners or just, not be able to tend to everybody in the way that you want. It's kind of like your thing is you have this sort of conflict in yourself between being an idealist and being a realist. Would you understand that? Yeah. So we need to address that before. Yeah, that's a big crisis for you. It's like, well, I'm thinking about it. I'd love to do it, but I only really want to do it if it's going to be the right thing for me that matches my values. I don't want to be slopping cheap food on a plate to seniors and telling them to shut up and go to their room. I want, but you're also you want to be the best and you want to make their experience better, because it would be very disheartening for you if it weren't a wonderful experience. So I need to look at that because that's an obstacle. If we can help you see that better or do something with that. Is it going to be difficult, please, Spirit? Yes or no? Because the funding is going to be scanty at best. And I don't feel you're catering to, you don't even want to cater to a more affluent crowd. You want to cater to people who are underprivileged. So, exactly. So it's going to be really difficult. So you and I right now need to come up with a plan so you can go ahead with it and not sacrifice. But I'm not seeing the plan just yet. I just want to see if I can see it. What should she do so that she can help the underprivileged and enhance their lives, please? Because federal funding is not that available. Okay. So what I am getting is that you're very ingenious. You have a lot of ingenuity. And I see you finding an old home, maybe something you've already looked at or have, or maybe something you have in the family or whatever. Maybe it's in your house. Maybe it is your house. But you're finding an older piece of real estate that can be easily converted into a living facility for more than one person. And that this will cut down on the overhead tremendously. And then with I said before, federal food program in particular, it would provide for you almost more than what you need to really run this facility in a way that is homey and hospitable and happy. So that is the key. Okay, good. I'm glad you see that. So the key is to find a low cost home for this place, location for this place. And I do see one, beautiful old Victorian kind of mansion, if you will. Okay. All right, love. So now you got to go out and do it. You too, sweetheart. God bless. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to Susan with a life question. Trying to go to Susan with a life question. Hold on. There she is. Susan. Hi, darling. Hi. What is your question, my dear? Yes, you should. That's the first thing that comes in. But let me see if you should be looking for another job. Yeah, you should look for another job, just like you said. But I get a big yes on taking care of what is in front of you right now. And I'll tell you why, because I think you want to know that, need to know that. Susan from 310. You have to take care of the mess that you're in before you can leave. It's sort of like it's a crisis, actually feels like a crisis. And if it's not settled before you go, you really won't be able to go. And I'm not sure exactly why yet. I'll tell you why in a moment. You have to get this behind you so you can get the references you need. You need to get, you need to get references. And until you, right now, it seems like you wouldn't be able to get the references you need before you can leave. So you have to stay there for a little while longer, and that it won't take that long actually. And that all you really need to, it's not going to be hard. All you really need to do is show up and smile, and everything's going to take care of itself. Remember, I was talking about that. Maybe you didn't. Yeah, you were here earlier. About the power of doing nothing in my job story. That kind of a thing. So, yeah. So do the meditation on a daily basis, and don't do anything more than just smile, keep your mouth shut, and smile a lot. And eventually, the crisis will be behind you, and you will be able to leave in a very harmonious way on your terms and conditions when you feel it is the right time to do so, and you know that you will have a good reference waiting for you if needed as you move into a new position elsewhere. And I need to see what that is. You should get something that she really likes, please. You will have another job coming in for you, and that's another reason to stay the course, because the job that's coming in is not available right now, and it will be a job that you like very, very much. But it doesn't happen. It's not available right now. It's sort of like a dream job, the new job coming in, and it's going to happen in about 2 to 3 months. So just smile, show up, smile, act nice. You can look for a job now if you want, but I don't think you're going to get anywhere until this crisis is behind you. And when it's behind you, and it's going to clear up on its own, another job will be presenting shortly thereafter. It's going to be something you're going to really, really like. I'm trying to see what it is. Feels like you're in an organization that's very exciting, and you have an entry level or administrative level entry into it, but it gets you closer and closer and closer what you really, really want to do, which is very glamorous and exciting. You are a communicator on a deeper level, soul level. You're supposed to be doing something in communication arts, and you will be getting that position eventually. But you just need to get that foothold, that entry. And so that's what's going to be coming down the pike. Okay? Hope that makes sense to you, darling. You're welcome. Same to you, honey. God bless. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to 973. Who's been waiting very patiently. Hello, 973. Do you have a name? Hi, your name? Hi, Jackie. Welcome to the show. What can Spirit do for you this evening? All right, let's see why. Jackie, mother's house. Money is an issue for you and her at this time in your life. You're really not setting aside enough money to do this the way you want to do this. So from that message that just popped in, it seems to me that you need to have something to move in, money of your own. It's not a matter of just moving in there. Would you understand that, honey? I just need to touch base with you on that before I proceed. Money. You need to have some money to move in there. Okay, so the money. Okay. Oh, good, good. Okay. Yeah, I just need to confirm because usually people move into the parents' house because they don't have money, but the answer was you need to get money together. All right, let's look at the money there. Will she get the financing? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yeah, you will get the financing eventually. You have to keep going about it. It's like scraping away at the goal, one little step at a time, but eventually you will get what you want. You just need to be persistent and you need to continue doing what you're doing. Eventually you will get exactly what you're looking for. It seems like a big amount of money would be coming to you, perhaps even more than what you expected. And it seems like it's coming from a government grant of some sort. And I also see like $30,000 or 30 as part of that. So I just wanted to let you know. So don't give up. Keep going at it. You will get eventually what you need. You have a real claim to make that will be providing you an answer. You have a real story here, and you will be getting what you need. You mean Adam? Oh, what was her name, please? Artis. Ardyth. Ardith. Hold on. She doesn't want to leave right now. She does have money of her own. She has money. She's not giving it to anyone but herself. She's she thinks she's a very special person. She doesn't want to give anybody anything. She's not telling the truth about herself. She's up to something. She's very scant in her effectiveness to details. I'm trying to get the answer for you, but they're giving me all these weird answers. But eventually we'll get to it. She's really not she's really not interested in leaving right now, although she does have the money to leave if she wanted to. She's sort of like, I guess, self-indulgent, if you will. She likes to take care of her own needs before other people's needs and has a lot of excuses. Um, that's what I'm getting, sweetie. I hope that that's of help to you. You can't get her out of there. You can't, yeah, you can't get her out of there easily. Yeah, you can't get her out of there easily. Well, yeah, I was going to say Spirit was babbling there. You can't get her out of there very easily. She's like a barnacle on a boat. But eventually you will be able to, let's see how you're going to get her out. She will leave of her own accord eventually when she sees that you come up with the funding. Part of the funding and the use of it will be that a condition that she leave, and then she will leave. She actually has money to leave. She just doesn't let anybody know that. She's comfy, very comfy where she is. So the condition to help, yeah. Well, that's all I could get. Well, all I can get is what I've gotten. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Just say that she just doesn't want to leave and she doesn't have to leave. But when you get the money, which is what I'm getting, that you will get, you'll be able to stipulate a condition that she be out of the house before you proceed, and that will happen then. And that's what I'm getting. Well, you'll be able to get her out though, honey. When you have the money, you'll have more power over the situation. You see what I'm saying? All right, love. I have to get going to another caller, honey. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you, Jackie. Bye-bye, love. Okay, I'm going to 650. Hello there. Sure. And your name is? Hi, Lola. How you doing this evening? Yeah. Yes, Lola. I hear you. What can we do for you? Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Is it the right job for you if you're getting panic attack. Well, let me just see if they're going to tell me. The guides will tell me if they're going to tell me. I'm going to ask them, is this the right position, the right job for Lola, please, that she's working on getting? Hold on one moment, please, Lola. Yes, it is a good job for you. It just is sitting. Okay, what's happening? A certification. It's a good certification. It's funny because I feel like as if there's something from another lifetime that this comes in from. I know that may sound a little weird, but you are talking to a psychic. So it's like it's like as if you really need to go for a past life regression if you can afford it, because and I'll see if I can see it now, honey. But I'd like to be able. I don't think I can remove it for you, but you have a block from another lifetime. And what is the certification in? Because I get the feeling of smothering or being buried alive around this. Like there's something to do with this work. Go ahead. Okay. There's a project management certification. And what kind of project? Any kind of projects in particular, honey? Is it construction work or medical work or what kind of work? Jen? Okay. All right, let's see. What is her past life connection to this for her, please? Or what is the panic attack about, please? I'm asking spirit. You have to let go of something from the past before you can move to the future. You have an ongoing issue with yourself and your health. And there's a fear of being consumed or eaten up by work, becoming immersed in strategic projects that would require all this activity and immersion on your part would make you feel like you don't have any space for yourself to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, come and go as you please. You are a person that likes freedom. You like to have your own freedom. So in effect, because you think it's practical, you're going for a certification in something which you're fearful of getting, because if you got it, it would not offer you more freedom. It would offer you more fatigue, less freedom, more being tired all the time. So what I'm getting is something about you liking freedom and that your passion and joy is not to do this. It will be to do something else, which is related to being self-sufficient, having more mobility, and having more control over your time. Maybe you went for the certification thinking it would give you that, but now you realize it won't. So that's what I'm getting. And it's like, if you don't have freedom, my dear, it's like as if somebody's taken the wind out of your lungs, the air out of your lungs. You are a person that needs a lot of freedom, a lot of mobility. And hold on one moment, please. What can we do about this? And you also want security, financial security, of course. Eventually, you will find a happy medium. Yeah, you will find the happy medium between the two. It's important for you to understand why you're fearful of it so that you can go through it, get it, and then manage it in the way that would work for you. Being a project manager does not have to be consuming all the time. It's simply something that you're fearful of right now. So if you understand what the fear is, you'll be able to alleviate it, get the certification, and then go for situations where you can use the project management to allow you to have more freedom and more control over your time in your life and not less of that. I hope that that makes sense to you, Lola. Yes, you should. No, you should do it, but you need to understand why you're fearful, because it's an illusion. It's not really going to totally ruin your life. It's not. There's something about are you taking care of an older person, male, like a father figure or something? Is somebody around you that needs you? I see a male around you that looks like a father. Do you have, are you you've never been married? You've never been married, honey? You've never been married, okay. And your father is still alive? Okay. I think one of the things, there's another fear that sits in your subconscious, as being a daughter that never was married, having good skills like being, the certification of project management, being an engineer, and so on. You might be ending up having to take care of him when he gets older, which is another fear you have. So to me, this, I know this sounds weird, but this is what I'm getting. To me, the whole thing is about you wanting freedom enough to be burdened. And if you understand that, you can go ahead, get the certification, but then not allow the certification to burden you with all these responsibilities, but rather use it to get freedom. So let's look at that for a second. Will this kind of a certification be able to be used so she can travel more, do things she really loves to do, and have more mobility versus less? Because the more secure you become, this is like you're sabotaging yourself because you feel like it's boxing you in to be a caretaker for your elders and have less mobility. I know this sounds a little strange, but I think this is in your head. Okay. So let me go to that, Lola. How can she use this project management certification to have more freedom in her life? Can she do this? Yes or no? Yeah, you'd be able to do it very well, actually. Do you do anything with oil? Drilling, oil rigs? What kind of engineering are you involved with, honey? Okay. I think you can apply, once you have the project management, you'll be able to apply it in different venues. And one of them I get for you is oil. And if you were to get some experience in the oil industry, it would give you a lot of mobility. So you have an assignment now to look into different situations for project managers with engineering degrees that give them a lot of freedom and mobility. Because I do feel that they exist. I feel that you can earn a lot of money on a project. So you take your employment on a project per diem basis, and then you take time off between. You see what I'm saying? And then you'll have your freedom. You have your cake and eat it too, which is what you need. Don't forget that, and feel entitled to have your freedom, because that's one of the things I think you're afraid of, like being sucked into doing things you don't want to do and being responsible for people you don't want to take care of and doing work that you don't want to do. So that's where the fear is coming from, is what I'm getting. When you're aware of it, you can manage it. Okay? All right. Sure. Thank you, Lola. Have a beautiful evening, honey. God bless. Bye bye, honey. Thanks. Bye bye. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to working with you next Monday night at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you'd like a private session with me, just go to booklaura.com. And if you put radio show in the event code field, you will obtain a third more time free. Namaste.